Well, welcome back to an episode of Let's Make This Work. Though, I got the Ridge Rock here. It's my dad's. I got my Ridge Runner over there. And we wanted to do some metal steering links. Though I pulled this one off and I had this idea. I was just going to buy some brass and bend it to match the same radius, drill holes through the end, add a lug and be done. But that is not where luck took us because I believe I ordered white brass. Let me zoom in here. That heavy grain structure, even when I heated it, I snapped it. I got one side bent and the other side, and I've had 3 snaps. So I was getting a little frustrated with that. I realized that's just not going to work. It's the wrong type of brass. So it gets a little more difficult, but I'm going to make it work. So I bought these offset link ends. And what I'm going to do is cut my brass pieces here and here to that length so it matches up with my link ends. Drill and tap, add some M3 grub screws to the end, drill and tap through here, add another M3 screw up for a lug, drill and tap that way, and make it to where the steering arm can go in. This is probably a little too much if you don't have the tools to do it, but I'm going to go through step by step as best I can. I wanted to make this more simple, but, well, because I ordered the wrong type of brass, that just didn't allow that to happen. With yellow brass, probably would have been no big deal, but it didn't really specify. Well, I'm going to get going on that. It is cold out here. It's about like 34 degrees Fahrenheit in my garage, so I'm going to shut the door and kick on the heater. I'll switch over to like a voiceover or something. Either way, I'll make it as clear as possible on what I'm doing. Alright, let's get this going. So this is my little chop saw. I've picked it up off of Amazon, and it works really good for what it is. I chop a lot of brass with it. As long as you take it easy, it does a pretty good job. The first thing I do is get that chopped to length, and then you have to mark your center point. So what I'm doing at this point is I am just taking a steel rule and going from corner to corner. Since it's 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch, I know it's square, so if I go corner to corner, that should give me my center point to put my punch mark. And that just really helps a lot when you're going to start the drilling process to have your punch mark in. Of course, I couldn't find my punch that day, so we're using a Tapcon screw, but brass is soft, it'll get the job done. We'll tap with the hammer, good to go. Now I'm just showing you that I got the punch mark in there and what that looks like. And I use a drill chuck when I'm doing my links. And what I'm showing you there is how even it is to the drill bit. And it's time to start the drilling process. I think I'm using I know I'm using a 2.50 drill bit. And you can either mark your drill bit with either tape or a marker, but I just set my plunge depth so it would only go down as far as I wanted it to go. And since I'm not going to be using a bottoming tap, I'm using kind of a pointed tap, I need to go just a little bit deeper so I have room for that little section at the end that won't be threaded. Now this magic tap stuff, I use it on everything I'm tapping, and I use it while I'm drilling too. It's really great stuff. Now something you can do before you start this, because it's really snug on the 2.50, you can take the next size up in standard. I couldn't tell you the exact size, but I just matched it up. It's a tiny bit larger, and I usually use that to just put like the starting hole in, just go in just a tiny bit so your tap starts easier. And now we're getting that twisted down. Once I feel it starting really to bite, you'll start seeing me twisting it backwards. So when you're tapping, you should go, I usually go either 3/4 or a full turn forward and then a 1/4 turn backwards, and this breaks all the chipping away, so you don't end up pulling your threads out. Because on brass, it's really easy to pull your threads out if you over torque it, so definitely take your time during that step. And here I'm showing you that I got them tapped in, and I've got my M3 grub screws set. I've got one set in, and I'm just showing you what it looks like before I screw it down. Now it's time to cut the upper part that we'll need to put our lug up top. So I'm just putting a 45 on each end. You can make this little stub piece. I used it off the pieces of brass. I didn't use the leftovers. It just seemed to be the perfect length. And you can see there, you had to drill 3 holes in it and tap 3 holes. So I tapped all 3 of those. And then I show you what it looks like mounted up with the stock steering on it. All right, now that we've gone through that, I'll bring you up to speed on how the installation's going. So this is the first link I built, and it looks like this when it's off. And everything hooked up great, no problems. Seems like I have a decent amount, maybe just a tiny bit less than it came with the stock, but I don't think it would make a noticeable difference, especially in the rear. So what I ended up doing, and on the front I'm going to try it out, we'll see how it works. These are the ones that I've done dead on center. Well, I made this one offset just a little bit. You can see there's just a little bit of an offset on there, and that should give us just that little bit more clearance we need for the front. And then I am going to also make the steering rod link from the servo out of this brass using the same methods. So I'm going to get all of that done, and then we will test it. We have finished up and made it to the testing ground, and look at those beautiful brass links. Those came out really nice. Yeah, not too bad out here for February. So, well, we got the rear steer on. Turn it back to the front. There we go. Look at that. Be pretty good. Now I'm going to kick it on 4-wheel. So let's get this out and actually crawl it and see how it does. You know, for being a budget truck, these Redcat Ridge Runners and Ridge Rocks are just so daggone impressive for what they are. The only problem is they don't make a whole lot of upgrades for them. As you can tell by this video, we're making our own. Alright, let's kick on the 4-wheel steering when we come down through here. So we might as well test both sets. Yeah, there'll be dogs barking and all kinds of other noises, because I do live right in the middle of town. And lady up the road, nice as could be, bless her heart, runs a dog rescue, but she has so many of them. And they always get out on her. It's actually quite comical. I help her retrieve them every once in a while. They watching her chase down 3 or 4 dogs. I just can't sit there and watch. I gotta help. Oh, goose it. Well, you know you're not going to make it. Sometimes it's just better to power out of it and try again, huh? Oh, I'm pretty daggone happy with this. I really enjoy making my own parts anyways. It's always a fun challenge to see what I can do. I'm going to go ahead and make on a different, I don't know if I'll even do a video on it. This might do an update test type of thing, but I'm going to make my own links for it soon too, at least the lower links. The upper links kind of that weird wishbone thing. Well, let me know down in the comments what you think. I'm pretty daggone happy with this. And I think we're going to call that a wrap. So I hope you enjoyed it and gave you some ideas. I'll leave links in the description for what I can. And I hope you have a great day, everybody. Catch you on the next one.